Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Birushana, continuing Not Brother Brothers Round. So, just picking up where we left off, as usual. It had been about a month since we left Aohaka Inn. Then we arrived in Izu. So this is Izu, the land of exiles. It was the most serious of exile destinations, and those defeated in political disputes often ended up here. Has my brother been able to survive all these years in such a terrible place? It's like... okay. I love how she's saying that. It's such a terrible place. It looks pretty fucking nice. It's like a nice, like, beach location. I'm sure it would, like, suck in the middle of, like, a fucking, you know, tsunami or some shit. But, like, I mean, being on the water ain't the safest place to be. But, like, I'm just saying, it looks pretty nice for right now. Like, talk about the poor people in Florida that had to deal with, like, living on the water in the middle of the hurricane. That's actually happening, like, now as I'm recording, and you can see how far ahead I've not really actually am at the moment. But you know what I mean. So, like, living on the beach is nice until fucking shit weather comes in. But, like, she's saying it's a terrible place. Hello? A glorious sun rays, a beautiful beach, a nice sea breeze. Like, what the fuck?
Lord Chanel, I've contacted Tokimasa Hojo, who's been acting as Lord Yoritomo's guardian these past years.
Tokimasa Hojo, observer of the Izu exiled Yoritomo Minamoto. Okay.
Arrangements have been made for a meeting with Lord Yoritomo tomorrow at
Hirogakojima. Okay. At Hirogakojima. Hirogakojima, the exile of Yoritomo Minamoto in Izu province. He was defeated in the Heike rebellion, but his life was spared and was exiled as a result. What does that have to do with Hirogakojima? Because, like, I'm assuming that's a place, because you're meeting at this place, but is that, like, his home name? You know what I mean? Like, some people name their house, like, oh, it's the whatever, but you know what I mean? So, like, is that, like, the name of the house he lives in, or his estate, or whatever? But, like, it's, like, the exile of him. The place of his exile? You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, a really bad one. Like, that tells me nothing. It tells me everything I already know, but nothing about what Hirogakojima is. Whatever. I see. Thank you.
However, the visit's to be held in secret. Please be discreet.
Understood. We'll be careful. Dress up like a woman and go. Phew. The mountain where we camped that night was dark. I sat down with my back against a tree, bathed in the buzzing sound of insects. Tomorrow I'll finally meet my brother. Just what kind of person is he, I wonder? A mixture of anxiety and anticipation filled my body, and I couldn't sit still. I know I should get some rest, but I'm just so worked up. I can't sleep. Wonder if he's this nervous to meet me, too. No, the man has no emotions. It's gonna be fun in this route to see his actual emotions come out. You know? Aside from, like, stone cold ass. It's gonna be fun. Still, if I don't get some rest, I'll look absolutely haggard in front of my brother tomorrow. Just what will he think then? Shauna, there you are. Shungen stepped through the tall grass and emerged, a look of relief crossing his face when he saw me. Sorry. Oh, that's me. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you come looking for me. I didn't see you in your room, so I knew you must be out and about. Made it pretty far considering how dark it is. In the forest near where we camped, but I'm not in my room. The phrasing on that's a little awkward. It's like, you're not in your tent, maybe? But, like, it's similar to the nights in Kurama, isn't it? You grew up there, too, so you must have good night vision, right? And clearly not as good as you. But, Shauna, you really shouldn't go out alone at night like this. Benkei would have a fit if he knew. Sorry, I know you're right, but I just can't help feeling restless. I know. Shungen came up next to me and sat down. I've been with you basically since you were born. Believe me, I know what you're thinking. Shungen, and never knowing your father's face, never really meeting your mother, you've never had much of a relationship with your family. It would be impossible not to get excited at the prospect of meeting your brother. You're looking forward to meeting Lord Yoritomo, aren't you? Looking forward to? Shungen's words landed with a thump in my heart. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, of course I'm looking forward to it, but it's more than that. I've heard so many stories about him over the years, and yet I never thought I'd actually be able to meet him face to face. Will we have the same face? What does his voice sound like? My mind keeps racing with questions like this. I feel as giddy as a child. It's juvenile, I know, but I just can't help myself. I don't think it's juvenile. You're about to meet your brother. You've been waiting for this moment for years. You've every right to feel the way you do. You've kind of been waiting for it your whole life, if you think about it. Brother, son of my father, whose Genji blood runs in both our veins, just how has he lived so far? I wonder if my brother's as troubled by living in the shadow of the Genji name as I am. What does he think the future between the Heike and the Genji will be like? I have a mountain of questions to ask him, including about our father. There's so many things I'd like to talk with him about. I know how you feel, but we've got to be careful too. After all, Lord Yoritomo's in exile. We'll have to keep our wits about us. Right. The meeting was scheduled to take place at my brother's Chikyo estate. Chikyo. Confinement to one's home, house arrest. Yeah, but yet at the same time, he was out on the beach that time talking to Tokasada. So I'm just saying! There would be constant surveillance there. We likely wouldn't be able to talk openly about the future of the Genji clan. It's unlikely the two of you will be able to meet alone or even talk openly about the future. That's all right. It's enough for me to be able to meet him at all. I see. Shungen muttered quietly, then suddenly spoke up as if he had an idea. Speaking of which, Shauna, does Lord Yoritomo know about you? That you're a woman, I mean. This is interesting. Considering I've never met him before, my guess would be no, he doesn't know. Okay, see, and I mean, like, I think that was kind of, like, in Shungen's route, wasn't it like, And then all of a sudden, did he? I can't remember if he, like, pegged us right off the bat and was like, wait a minute, and then was like, nah, Shungen's my brother. And then, you know what I mean? But, like, because it was one of those, like, does he know that you're, like, technically his sister? And I would go with, absolutely probably not, because they would have told him he had a brother, because Shungen is actually his real brother. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I see. In that case, it might be better not to mention anything for now. I have to lie to my brother about this too? Why do I have to keep such a thing from my own brother? Because if you're like, oh, by the way, I'm a girl, actually your sister, and then you can't talk openly because people are listening and whatever, then everyone else is going to know and that's going to spread. Like, girl, keep it to yourself. Shauna, even if you can't let him in on this secret just yet, I'm sure you'll be able to have a nice talk with him. No, you're right, but even if I can't reveal my true self to him just yet, I can still stand with him as a child of the Genji clan. What are you shrieking down there for? What is happening? Thanks, Shungen. This has calmed me down a bit. He's like... I can't quite tell if he's just, like, clucking happily, or he's like... Because it's not like a normal, like, chirpy chirp chirp. It's like a weird, but it's not like a shrieking when he plays. It's like a weird... That is screaming at me, but... I'm glad to hear it. For what it's worth, I'm looking forward to seeing what your brother's like, too. Now... Shungen stood up quickly and reached his hand out to me. Let's head back. You should probably get some sleep. You don't want to look all groggy the first time you meet your brother, do you? That's right. I laughed lightly and took his hand. As he pulled me up, I felt grateful for his coming out here to calm me down. I hope tomorrow comes soon. Suppressing my impatient heart, we headed back down the dark mountain road. The next day, as planned, we arrived at my brother's estate. We were then shown into a modest room with minimal furniture. As I waited, stiff with tension, a man eventually arrived. It's our glorious brother. Is this Yoritomo Minamoto? My brother? My brother entered the room without saying a word and promptly sat down on the floor. Then we get that. Every time we meet him, we have this CG. This version of this CG, though, you know what I mean? Where we're just there looking up at him as he's staring down at us, kind of like with dismay and disappointment. He was tall, with a large frame and excellent upright posture. His sharp gaze found its way to me. I hurriedly lowered my head, feeling as if my heart had been seized by the coldness of his gaze. Yet not a word escaped his lips. When I looked up, I saw the same emotionless eyes staring coldly at me, just as before. He radiated no joy, no familial love, just a chilly, inhospitable air of indifference. I tried to find a place in his face that was similar to my own, but I could see nothing of myself in his frozen expression. And the thing is like, well, now you know why. You know what I mean? Please, say something. I was never expecting some tearful, warm embrace, but still, he's my brother, my own blood. Surely he must feel something. And yet still we sat, the physical distance between us remaining as unchanged as his emotionless face. I felt a searing pain in my chest as my unconscious expectations were quickly shattered. Can't be helped. What should I do? I have to stay calm. I feel like I have to stay calm. Well, it can't be helped. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it can't be helped, but like, what should I do is like panic, and I feel like with him, you should stay calm. Can't be helped. All right, well, I mean, okay, that also works, I guess. His flower likes that. I just really wish there was like some kind of music like that every time the flower shows up. I just feel like that's the noise that it would make, like the flower being in bloom. There is just a stray fucking errant hair that will not stay out of under my headset, and it's just like coming out to just poke me in the face, and it's driving me bonkers. I'm sorry. No, it's too early for that. Now's not the time to be discouraged. Whether or not, we've never even met before. It's unrealistic to think he'd trust me just because we're related. Sorry, now I have an itch in my ear. Being watched now, judged. I have to show him that I'm trustworthy. That's what this is. It's very similar to every time we've met him before. Having told myself that, I looked back into my brother's eyes. Just what are those eyes trying to tell me? Never met anyone with such cold eyes before. It's as if he's trying to block anyone from seeing inside his heart. Oh, it's okay, we're gonna get inside his heart. The sharpness of his gaze betrayed the hard life he'd lived in exile. It was like his stare alone could cut you if you came too close.
Oh, Yoritomo.
My brother, who had kept silent until now, finally spoke to me. Indeed, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the child of Yoritomo Minamoto, Shinao. Please forgive me for visiting you so suddenly.
I'm Yoritomo.
In contrast to my nervous, trembling voice, my brother's was flat and calm.
Come closer.
I did as he said. At a somewhat closer distance, my brother stared deeply into my face.
You've done well to come all this way.
Just grateful for the chance to see my brother.
I see.
His replies were curt. I can still feel it. There's still a wall between us. Does he really not see me as family? Try kissing him, see what happens. I mean, don't, because you think he's your brother right now, and that'd be weird. It would definitely break some tension, and somebody would have to say something. I'm going to guarantee you it would wipe that something would happen, and he wouldn't just be, like, totally calm and serene about it. I'm just saying. My brother's words were straightforward and indifferent, but I managed to find a connection, or at the very least, a thin thread to pull. I stopped in a worry before coming here. When I mentioned the resting place of our father, my brother's response was muted. However,
I see.
In that brief moment, his eyes flickered slightly. It was only for a moment, but something behind his eyes seemed to spark back to life. A lonely flash of color swirled within them. Never knew my father's face, never heard his voice, held no memories of him, and yet there in front of me was one who had been by his side, and not just by my father's side, but my departed brother's, too. When I looked into his lonely eyes, I felt a tugging at my heart. I want to grow closer to him. Oh, we're going to get real close. That's all I'm saying. I knew it was presumptuous of me, but I couldn't help but hope to do so. But most of all, I wanted to know what was in his heart. Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Tell me, brother, do you believe in destiny? Fate given by heaven. Destiny. Yoritomo reclaim his place as the rightful heir to the Genji name. Do, brother, will you ascend to the expectations of the Genji heir? Do you have the will to rebuild our clan? I couldn't ask him directly. There was always a chance that Heike's spies could be listening in. And while I couldn't plainly ask him about the future, I was sure he knew what I meant. Though the risk was great, I still wanted to know his intentions. If I knew how he felt, perhaps it would help guide me too. Profound words. Those who do not take what heaven has given them will be severely punished. Those who do not take what heaven has given them will be severely punished. I knew those words. It's a sentence from an ancient Chinese text I received from Lord Kakunichi at Kurama. What heaven has given you is what you're destined to receive. Those who refuse will be severely punished. It's literally exactly what he just said. Brother, we all have a destiny given to us by heaven. Well, that's all I have to say to you. Shinhao, your destiny is tied with mine. I know, right? That's not what you mean right now, but that's exactly how it's gonna go. Never forget that. Oh, this game won't let me forget. A look of strong determination flashed deep within his cold eyes. I wanted to see more of that determination, to be sure it was really there, but my brother stood up quickly. Brother, what he just said, does this mean that one day he'll fly the flags of war to Kyoto and reclaim the honor of the Genji? And if so, where does that leave me? What's my destiny? I still didn't have an answer to that question, but I felt I was getting closer. My brother and my destiny are tied together by the blood of the Genji clan. If my brother aims to reclaim the honor of the Genji, then I wish to be near him. I felt a faint fire light up deep within my chest. Deep inside my chest, but same difference.
Welcome back, Lord Snow. How'd it go?
We couldn't talk much, but he did say that our futures would be linked. Yeah, I mean, again! When he said those words to me, I felt something light up deep inside my chest. I don't know for sure, but this feeling in my heart's trying to tell me something. Most of all, it's telling me that I want to be close to my brother's heart. You're gonna get close to more than that. I think what I learned here today will help me answer the question of my destiny moving forward.
Is that so? In that case, I'm glad you could meet him.
Indeed. I apologize for the detour, everyone.
So, are you ready to head to Hiraizumi now?
Yes, Kichiji, we'll leave the navigation to you.
Yes, of course, sir.
Sorry for the detour, and they're like, ugh! God! You're such an asshole! I'm kidding. You know, they're like, okay, it's fine, buddy! They were never going to say anything otherwise, but... In the mountains. It had been some time since I left Kyoto. The short, early days of spring had grown longer and longer with each passing day.
We've come quite a ways. We're nearly there.
The other day you said we'd crossed into, Mutsunokuni? Yeah, Mutsunokuni. How much longer till we reach Hiraizumi?
You mean Hiraizumi and Oshu? Just a day or two more, I think.
Forgive me, Kichiji, but is Hiraizumi really more prosperous than the capital? We've been up and down so many mountain paths, I find it hard to believe there's a city around here.
We should be able to get a good look at the city soon. We're still on the outside of Josaku. Tonight we'll stay near a fort on the edge of town, Momonosaku. Come on, let's go have a look.
Momonosaku! I'm sure we've read all those before. If we haven't, oh well. Wow, that's quite a fort. Wait, yeah, okay. I was like, wait a minute, we can skip this. I do like the fact that even though we're technically in our brother's route, because this scene we've done before, we can skip it. I like that little tidbit, you know, that it kind of goes out to brother-specific stuff back to the common, because so many games have it where it kind of splits, and you're in a route, but then they have these scenes like this that you're like, I've read this before 6 fucking times, because it doesn't let you skip it, because it's like, You go down the route, and then you branch, and that's it. Once you branch, you're fucked. Doesn't matter if it's the same scene that they copied and pasted. I like the way this one flows in and out. You know, it weaves. You know, it weaves out to your brother's kind of stuff, and then it weaves back into what's common, and then it weaves out, and then, like, you know, oh, there's their boys. Anyway, you know? So you don't have to basically reread this entire scene over and over and over and over and over and over, because that gets to me. Like, you know, just like when we have the flashbacks and you're like, okay, I read this flashback 32 times and we just saw it 4 seconds ago. Don't know why that bothers me, but it does. And yet, I am very repetitive by nature, so, And maybe it's because I'm very repetitive by nature that, like, when I have to read the same thing 14 times, I'm like, no! And it makes me mad. See? That's the thing I don't like about myself. Say the same thing over and over. Did I mention this? Yeah, 14 times today. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to go talk about it. Also, I just don't remember. Oh, I was like, where are we skip? Wait. Nope, okay. Did we skip all of chapter 5? We actually did. And we're practicing fighting with Shungen. Which, I mean, again, we did, but I'm sure maybe the lines are a little bit different. I mean, we'll see. That saved us like 2 whole parts and skipping through chapter 4 and 5 like that. I'm just saying. Ha! Yeah! Yield. I yield. You win. Shauna, you've taken your skills to another level. That last blow in particular just barely missed me. You're the one who's getting stronger. I won this one, but you beat me last time, remember? Shungen and I both wore exhausted smiles. We've been training to the fullest all day. Training to the fullest all day. We both wiped the sweat off our brows and sat down in a corner of the garden. The sun was warm and the breeze was pleasant. It feels so light and springy. Maybe it's all this Hiraizumi fresh air. Having spent my days here training with Shungen and Benkei, I felt my strength had improved compared to when I was in Kyoto.
My lord, Lord Suganobu and Tadanobu are here, and they've said something about a plan to go to Mount Tabashine.
That, like, Mount Tabashine, a mountain located on the border between modern-day Hiraizumi, Oshu City, and Ichinoseki City. Oh, right! They said it's a great place to train. I was gonna have them show us around. We're gonna take a hike and then practice with our swords up there. At first I've heard of it. Yeah, well, I don't have to tell you all the time where I'm going, Shungen! You're not my mother! Oh, really? Those Sato brothers. I know they're skilled samurai, but I think they go a little too easy on you sometimes. That's because they're sweet on me. I'm sweet on them. That's fine.
What are you pouting about, Shungen? Those two always take good care of our lord.
Well, yeah, but... Why don't you two come with us? Tadanobu said he'd like to spar with you guys as well.
Sounds great!
Benkei, you can never fucking make him sad. I mean, okay. I'm sure if we died or some shit, but, like, he's just really easy to please. They're like, Tadanobu and Suganobu are like, come on, let's go, Shao! And he's like, oh, you're leaving? And you're like, you want to come? Cool! And fucking Shungen's over here being a salty fucking cracker. He has, like, a box of fucking saltines, okay? He has, like, all the salt that falls off the saltines after you eat them, and it's just, like, what's left in the box is just fucking salt crumbs. That's what he is. He's a salt block. He's just a salt lick. You know what I mean? You're just a block of salt. Of course we'll go. He gets a little like, Like, you're coming along. Fine. I'm gonna have fun. Like, just like that he's a little salty.
Hey, are you ready, Lord Chanel? Getting tired of waiting. Let's just go down there ourselves.
Don't you dare interrupt them.
Love these two. Hey, you two. Sorry to keep you waiting. I've been looking forward to today.
Us too.
I bet. God damn, I love this himbo. I love him so much. I love this side himbo.
I'm sorry for butting in, but my brother is insufferably impatient at times.
Look who's talking. You were the one who couldn't stop gushing about how excited you were for today. I love the two of them.
That's different, and not something you were supposed to blurt out for the whole world to hear.
I'm glad we get the little if stories. I do. I love them so much. Oh, they're so precious. I miss them.
Don't worry about that. I'm excited too. Benkei and Shungen were helping to tag along. I hope that's okay.
More the merrier. I'm meaning to get a chance to spar with you guys too.
Indeed. Some training cannot be done with two people alone. Great. This is the first time we've all gone out together, so I'm looking forward to it. Yay, let's go kick each other's asses! Fun! Okay, like, I put my hoodie on and I'm too hot, and then I take it off and I'm too cold. Like, I just cannot be fucking comfortable right now. What's up, Benkei?
I'm glad to see her so lively and upbeat, my lord. I was just thinking how glad I am we came to Hiraizumi in Oshu.
In case you didn't know. Did you not know that? Hiraizumi's in Oshu? You're right. My mind's much calmer now than it was when we were in Kyoto. Yeah, well, you know. Tomomori ain't here, chasing you down. It'd been several months since we settled down in Hiraizumi. Ichiji had told me there were many beautiful temples in Hiraizumi, but I was shocked when I saw them with my own eyes. Lord Hidehira wished to make Hiraizumi a utopia and built a rich and sophisticated capital to match his grand designs. The nature was lush and the people here were generous to us. As time passed, we became good friends with the Sato brothers. They were samurai with strong bodies and pure hearts, and their lord, Lord Hidehira, was also a grand and wonderful human. His son, on the other hand, is a beautiful fucking bitch that we don't even get a side story for. I love fucking side bitch. What's his, Yasuhira? Is that his name? I don't even remember. I just, like, he's goddamn beautiful. Stop it. You're like, beautiful, moody bastard. Just, there are many skilled and virtuous monks here, too. Thanks to Lord Hidehira, I can learn and train myself as I please. What a wonderful place this is. I have to make the most of this time. I have to absorb as much as I can while here in Hiraizumi. In Oshu. In addition to my other training, I'd occasionally learn about Buddhism with Lord Hidehira, too.
I see. That's a perspective I hadn't thought of before.
I don't remember his voice, but whatever. No, not at all. Honestly, I'm somewhat embarrassed to share my perspective with someone as knowledgeable as you.
No need to be modest. Your perspective is flexible and sharp. It's only by talking with you that I, too, can think anew. I always look forward to our talks like this. You've given me a lot to think about today. Allow me to thank you for your company.
That's very kind of you, Lord Hidehira. I, for one, always learn a lot from my time studying with you. I'm very grateful to you for accepting me and giving me this place to think and improve myself.
I'm pleased to see that you're enjoying yourself here in Hiraizumi. In the months since you've arrived here, I've enjoyed watching you grow and progress.
Thank you. Since coming to Hiraizumi, I feel as though I've been able to calm down and think clearly about the future. I'm so glad I was able to come to here. I'm so glad I was able to come to here. Not proper grammar, Tim. Jesus Christ. Such a beautiful and wonderful place. No wonder my father spent his last days trying to reach it.
If only Lord Yoritomo and his vassals had made it here, perhaps the world would look very different today. But it's impossible to say for sure.
I can't help but feel moved by the fact that I'm at the place my father and brothers strived to reach before they died.
Indeed.
Lord Hidehira, ever since I was a child, Lord Kakunichi and those around me have told me stories of my father and my brothers. The fight against the Heike, loss, defeat, then shame and death. Heard it over and over and over again.
I see.
At times it seemed too heavy a fate for me. Lord Hidehira stared at me with quiet eyes, as if taking my words directly into his heart. They keep having to say Hidehira, don't they? Because it's the hardest fucking thing to say. His name does not flow properly. It's like Hidehira. Because it just kind of, you just mumble it. It just doesn't like flow naturally. It's like you stumble over that. You trip over that. It's a rocky fucking craggy road that you just trip along as you go. Like, of course, I had my own thoughts about how my family was killed by the Heike. But there was something about the fact that I'd never met my father and brothers, somehow never felt real. More importantly, I wasn't free to live how I wanted. I had to hide who I was, and it's caused me such painful suffering. I was forced to live surrounded by people who looked to me to overthrow the Heike and revive the Genji name.
Yes.
I always felt that I was never allowed to live as just me. I hated that. There were so many times I wished I had been born a normal child. Well, you were. I just wanted to live free. Free from the threat of the Heike, free from the burden of the Genji name, free to be me. At least, that's what I used to think.
But not anymore? Is that it?
Yes. That night, when I escaped from Kyoto, I confronted Tomomori and made up my mind to face my destiny.
I'd like to face that destiny. Well, I meant Tomomori, obviously.
And then I walked the path that my father had walked. I saw the place where he died. I saw his grave. For the first time in my life, I feel close to my father and brothers, who before had always seemed so far away. I was so distressed by the tragedy that had befallen my family, I just wanted to walk away. But then I was able to meet my only brother, Lord Yoritomo. I was able to see him with my own two eyes. And although my brother was stern and quiet, and we didn't speak many words together, I saw the deep sadness in his eyes. Those eyes, frozen to keep anyone and everyone far away, but for a moment, they broke. Unlike me, who couldn't even remember my father's face, brother carried the full weight of the past on his shoulders. The death of his father and brothers, the heavy responsibility of being one of the few Genji to survive the war. I thought of all my brother had lived with until now, felt my heart quiver with sadness. Lord Hidehira, Oh my god, hold on. That's goddamn hair! I don't know where it keeps escaping from, but it's driving me bonkers. Because it keeps just being like, boop, and it's just kind of like poking me. It's like, doo 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 doo, just one stray hair that keeps like sticking in my face, and it's like, ah! Anyway, I'm ready to fight for my brother. I feel so bad. I still don't understand anything. I'm ready to fight for my brother. I kind of feel like since it's in his route, I feel so bad. It's true, but I still don't understand anything. I feel like that's the most true. But yeah, no, okay, I'm ready to fight for my brother. I mean, that makes more sense in the scheme of this game, but I still don't understand anything. I don't want my brother to have to carry everything on his shoulders anymore. We're both Genji, which is why it's so important that I help him carry some of the weight of that name. Brothers are supposed to help each other. It may be arrogant of me to think I can help him, but I know I have to try.
So, Lord Shanao, will you take up the name of Genji?
I still haven't made up my mind for sure yet, but I know that I'll no longer run away from my fate. When we met in Izu, my brother said to me that our fates are connected. It means he expects me to take up the name of Genji. And I think it means that someday my brother and I are destined to stand side by side as husband and wife. It'll be lovely.
I see. So that's how Lord Yoritomo sees things.
Yes, and if that's what my brother wants, I want to be able to live up to his expectations. I want to be able to help him. If that means fighting the Heike together with him, then I will. Lord Hidehira gazed into my eyes for a moment, confirming my commitment.
So, Lord Yoritomo and Lord Shanao, all that remains of the Genji name. You believe that your fates are tied together, is that right?
Yes.
However, if the two of you do have a destiny that is intertwined, know that it's not to fight the Heike.
What?
Never forget, Lord Shanao, fighting is just a means to an end. It's what you achieve at the end of battle that matters.
What we achieve.
Yes. Know, too, that changing the world is not something that can be done with ordinary determination. You will require an iron will. You must be ready to risk everything in battle. If you truly wish to help Lord Yoritomo, you must be willing to lose it all.
Oh, she's gonna lose it all. I mean, her clothes when we bone our brother. It's not really our brother, but like. That is fun knowing now that he's not our brother. I mean, you assumed we were gonna find that out, but I mean, like, come on. I mean, it's nice that it was Shungen that was actually his brother, because that was kind of a nice little twist. But it's like, but now we know the whole. Aww. It ruins the slight creep fest that is like, we're going down this route and we're going to romance our brother. This is weird. This is weird, right? But I'm here for it. But it's a little weird. Is it weird? It's weird. Yeah. But we're enjoying it? Yeah. But like now it's like, but he's not really our brother, so. Not the same level of debauchery I was, like, looking forward to, you know? The hell is wrong with me? What are these games done to us? Anyway. An iron will.
Lord Chanao, are you sure you're ready for that?
The harshness of his eyes and words made it impossible for me to respond without thinking. My desire to help Lord Yoritomo is not a lie, but do I have the kind of dedication Lord Hidehira is talking about? A will strong enough to change the world, to put everything on the line, risk it all.
I'm sorry. Perhaps that was too harsh. Besides, there's no need to respond now. Still have time to make your choice.
And that's when fucking Tokasada comes running in.
Lord Chanao, did you know your name is taken from the Birushana Nabutsu? The name means child of what shines. As your name suggests, you're filled with a strong light that illuminates everything and everyone around you.
Me? Really think so?
Knew it from the moment you first stepped foot in Hiraizumi. You can see it in your eyes. You are truly one that shines. Pray that your light can illuminate the lives of the suffering people in this world.
Lord Hidehira,
I encourage you to think about what you truly hope to achieve with a war against the Heike. What is it you truly wish to achieve with Lord Yoritomo?
I don't think I should tell you that. I mean, that's some private information. We're friends, but we ain't girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? We're like, girl, let me tell you, okay, we're gonna go get coffee. Like, we don't have that kind of conversations, Hidehira. Just simmer down. Indeed. As night fell, the words Lord Hidehira spoke lingered in my head. What's up, Shauna? It's like you've been deep in thought ever since your meeting with Lord Hidehira.
Did something happen while the two of you were studying today?
Shungen, Benkei, come to think of it, I haven't really told either of them about how I've been feeling lately. Might be a good time to do so. Actually... So that's what you and Lord Hidehira talked about.
Surely defeating the Heike is the same as changing the world. After all, doing so would be no small feat.
Right, but more than that, I feel a growing desire within me to help my brother as a member of the Genji clan. And I also want to defeat the Heike for all the harm they've caused to the people of this land. But after what Lord Hidehira said, I wonder if I'm strong enough to see it through to the end and win. I just don't know if I have what it takes. You know you do. Huh? I looked at Shungen, who spoke clearly and with a soft smile on his lips. Lord Hidehira's right, Chanao. You do indeed shine brilliantly. Ever since we were in Kurama, you always wished for the people of Kyoto to be able to live in peace. I'm sure that, with your pure and brilliant heart illuminating the way, you'll be able to save the people who suffer under the Heike. Really making me out to... I mean, like, we know we're the special because we're the main character, right? But, like, also... But they're really, like, harping on the super special part. I mean, we do have magic powers, so... I've been with you since the very beginning. Trust me, I know. I believe in yourself, Shinao. You're much stronger than you'd think. And especially considering the fact that we can kick fucking ass, and we're a girl. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because usually it's like, especially in ye olde time pieces, it's like, oh, girls are weak and frail, and we're like, I will fucking kill you. And we probably can. I'm just saying, you know? Shungen...
My lord, I agree with Shungen. You're always trying to protect someone. The people of Mount Kurama, the people of Kyoto, now all the people of this land. When I first met you, I was drawn to your strength. Now I find your kind heart to be the best part of you. Stand up for others, all while bearing the heaviest fate of us all. Please follow your heart, my lord, and know that will accompany you wherever you go. Oh, it is my fate to follow you.
Okay. Do they both really believe in me that much? You really think I can do this? Take up the name of Genji, help my brother, and help the suffering people of this land? Of course.
Absolutely.
Even as, not a real son of... Oh, that's me. Even as, not a real son of Genji.
Without question.
Obviously, I'm gonna guess Benkei knows that we're a woman then. Because, okay, like... He found out in his route because he was trying to, like, fix our clothes or whatever. Like, because our clothes are wet. But then he didn't find out in the other routes. I didn't think until, like, later. But I'm gonna guess in this one it's the same. Like, right? I don't think he knew in the other routes, but, well, I guess he knows, so, okay. I don't see how that changes anything. Their eyes never once wavered. I was touched by their straightforwardness. They knew my secret, but still believed in me. Yeah, okay, so I guess Benkei knows. But, like, because you know what I mean? Like, in his route, he found out, like, right off the bat in that one scene, like, after... When he was like, I'm gonna follow you! And we're, like, you know what I mean? After the river. But, like, I didn't think in, like, the other routes that still happened. That he found out. You know what I mean? I don't remember that. But... Because otherwise it would have been like, you play Noritsune's route, and then you're like, oh, Benkei knows, and then he's gonna find out right away in his route. But it's like he didn't, because... You didn't want, and then he found out right away in his round and was like, oh, I guess the choices we make in this one are similar to Benkei's, so he found out, and then it kind of split. So, okay. So he knows, alright. I guess that's good for us to know. But, like, when you skip that scene, you don't know, are we going Benkei doesn't know route, Benkei knows route? Because it's like, there's different options. Huh. Anyway. Thank you, both of you. If you guys can believe in me, then I can believe in me too. Made up my mind. I am aiming for a future where I stand alongside my brother, and together we'll form a new, better world. Someday, when the time's right, I'll fight with everything I've got. I'll risk it all. For now, I've got to keep improving myself. Training, keep gaining strength, so when the time comes, I'll be ready. Little did I know that day would come sooner than I expected. One day, Lord Hidehira called on us with news that Kichiji had returned to Hiraizumi. When I entered the estate, I was overcome with the somber atmosphere that permeated the room. What happened in Kyoto?
Please allow me to tell you. At this moment, there's a great commotion in the capital of Kyoto. Something of grave significance has happened there.
What he told us was far more shocking than anything we could have expected. It seemed that Kiyomori Taira raised an army in Kyoto and ousted 40 of Emperor Go-Shirakawa's closest allies from the government. He then chased the men out of Kyoto and banished them to distant lands. On top of that, Kiyomori has placed Emperor Go-Shirakawa under house arrest and plans to install his own grandson as emperor? Just who do the Heike think they are?
Does their arrogance know no bounds? This incident has also disrupted the long-standing government in the capital. It's a political change that's far too aggressive. I feel like Hidehira's voice is different every time he shows up, but, like, it doesn't fucking matter, I guess. Lord Hidehira muttered with a stern expression and looked to me. According to Kichiji, this has caused a great amount of unrest in Kyoto.
Yes, there are many nobles and temples that are increasingly opposed to Kiyomori and the Heike rule.
Chiji's also not right for some reason.
No matter how much Kiyomori's power is filled, an act this outrageous will not be overlooked. There may be some major developments in Kyoto in the near future.
Then, with a melancholy look in his eyes, he glanced at me. Time had finally come. With quiet resolve, I turned to Lord Hidehira. War's coming to this country. Lord Hidehira, I can no longer ignore the Heike threat.
Lord Shinao, does that mean...
Yes, I'm finally ready to take my place as a member of the Genji, fight the Heike.
So you finally made up your mind, then?
But just how do you plan to do that? You have no men, no army. Even if you want to fight, how can you? I have men! Yasuhiro, you want to be one of my men? Do you see my man harem behind me? I mean, there's only a couple of them. Misato brothers count. Some of my man harem is actually on the opposite side, but it's fine.
We can do the naming ceremony quickly. After that, we'll take some time and raise some troops.
Thank you, but that won't be necessary. Word of this Heike treason will travel throughout Japan. Indeed, it's possible my brother in Izu has already heard the news. I've no doubt he'll feel the same way about this as I do. I can only assume that my brother will seize on the dissatisfaction with the Heike as an opportunity to avenge the Genji name. I want to fight alongside my brother. I will go to Izu.
I see. You intend to fight alongside Lord Yoritomo. Final two sons of Genji, fighting shoulder to shoulder to fulfill their destiny. Yes, that's good. Very good. Glad to hear you've made up your mind, Lord Shinao. In that case, we'll start preparing right away. You are an important guest to me as well. Allow me to help you prepare for war as an heir to the Genji name.
Thank you, Lord Hidehira. You're finally going to fulfill your destiny, Shinao.
I'm very proud of you, my lord.
I don't know why that means so much when Benkei's like proud of you. You're like, thanks. Good about myself now. Just love it. Yes, I'm gonna fight as a Genji to support my brother and the people of this land. You two are coming too, right? Of course, I'll be there. I will protect you with my life from now on and forever.
I will accompany you to the end of the earth, my lord. I'm proud to have you as my lord. My lord?
That's such a Benkei sentence. The two of you by my side, I feel like we could take on 100 men. It's gonna be a long road, but I'm counting on you. In the background is like fucking great.
Wait, Lord Shinao.
My brother and I'd like to join you.
What? Tadanobu, Suganobu, what are you two doing here?
Were you two listening in on us?
Yes. I'm aware it was disrespectful of us. Please forgive us.
Lord Hidehira, forgive us, but when I heard that it was of great importance to Lord Shinao, I was too curious. I don't mind. You two want to follow Lord Shinao? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I can't help but admire Lord Shinao's determination to destroy the evil of this land and bring peace to the people. From now on, I wish to take Lord Shinao as my lord and serve him with my life.
I love the fact that they're all taking me as their lord. I love it. I love our little man here. A band of merry men.
I feel the same way as my brother. We want to help defeat the Heike and restore the Genji.
You both.
I want to protect you, Lord Shinao. Please, take us with you.
How could you leave the himbo behind? I mean, we're not going to, but you know what I mean. Very kind of you, but you two are samurai of Oshu. I can't just take you with me.
Actually, I'm inclined to agree with him. Please, Lord Shinao, allow them to accompany you. God, get them off my hands. I'm just kidding. Everybody loves them. You know they do.
Wait, really?
The road ahead of you will be harsh. I'd hoped to provide you with some strong samurai from Oshu as a gift from me.
Here you go! Oh my god! Hidehira, you got us two beautiful brothers. I love it! Thank you! Is it my birthday?
These men are skilled and trustworthy samurai. Above all, they admire you. There's no one more qualified to join you.
Please, Lord Shinao.
Please!
With Lord Hidehira's kind words and the Sato brothers' eager faces staring back at me, there was simply no way to refuse, and then we just hugged. Group hug! Oh, yay! Well, alright then. We can't possibly lose with the two of you on our side. I'm glad you two feel the same way as I do. Let's fight together!
Lord Shinao, we'll give it everything we got for you.
I love you. Here's the warm, fuzzy feelings in this game, and then we go off to war to die. So, you know, there's that, but...
Thank you. I promise my brother and I will be of great use to you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Oh god, I can't not be inappropriate. Shauna, it looks like our group's about to get even more rambunctious than before.
Isn't that a good thing, Shungen? This must be the will of the Buddha. You've acquired worthy vessels, my lord.
Shungen's over there like, oh. Again, just being a little salt lick. Right. I After years of being lost and troubled, it was on that day I decided on my own path forward in life. Look at our little man harem. I knew the road ahead would be harsh and filled with trouble. I had my friends and their smiling faces to guide me. With friends like these, I'm sure we'll be able to fight through anything. For my brother and for the suffering people of this world, give it everything I've got. Preparations were hurriedly made for us to go to my brother's estate. At that time, my Genpuku ceremony was held, and I became a full-fledged samurai. Genji's 9th child, Spacey Kuro Minamoto. With a heavy resolve, I molded the sound of my new name over and over. With a new name, new friends, and with a solid goal in mind, we left Hiraizumi behind. That would be like a perfect place to end, but we still got like 10 minutes, so you know we're going to keep going, but it's still like, man. Sometime later, we moved along the borders of Oshu and Kanto along the Myojintoge? Just took me a hot minute. I was like, wow, Myojintoge Pass and into Hitachi no Kuni. Myojintoge into Hitachi no Kuni. Disgrace. Myojintoge Pass, located on the border between Oshu and Kanto, is the current prefectural border between Fukushima and Ibaraki Prefecture. Jesus Christ. I didn't read that in tour guide Spacey voice, because, like, when we stopped at a town in search of a place to stay, we found it filled with people running around in a lively buzz. Sure is a lot of noise here. Wonder what's going on. It looks like the townspeople and travelers are gossiping about something. The expressions of the people around us were stiff, and they were exchanging words in hushed tones. I felt an awful sense of foreboding, and it made me nervous hearing the harsh whispers of those around us.
Perhaps we should ask someone what's going on.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, what Benkei said! Wow, Benkei, you're smart! If Benkei came up with that, we've all got to be really fucking dumb for not thinking about it. I'm just saying. I walked over to an inn on the street and called out to the owner. Excuse me, would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Sure, what can I do for you?
Seems to be a lot of noise in town. Any idea what's going on?
It's been on one major thing after another. Y'all didn't hear the news from Kyoto?
The Heike have imprisoned the Emperor? Yeah, we heard about that.
Oh yes, but the Imperial Court says to Ryoji to overthrow the Heike.
No wonder the people of the town were in such shock. Emperor Go-Shirakawa's son, Prince Mochihito... Oh, man. What about Mochihito? A Mochihito. Doesn't it sound like a chocolate mojito? Like a mocha mojito? Like, it's all... You know what I mean? Has ordered the Genji to rise and destroy the Heike. Ryoji, a royal decree from the Imperial Court. Prince Mochihito gave the order with the intention of seizing the Imperial crown for himself. Unfortunately, Prince Mochihito passed away before he could fulfill his ambition of taking the throne. However, his order led to armies with connections to the Genji family to rise up across Japan in opposition to the Heike. I don't remember Mochihito dying in any of the other routes. You know what I mean? And being like, oh, unfortunately he died. Wait, what? I don't remember that, but...
I heard that even Lord Yoritomo Minamoto, who'd been exiled to Izu, has raised an army of his own.
My brother...
It's said that the Izu and Sagami warlords, Hojo, Okazaki, and Usami have joined in Yoritomo's campaign. Not only that, he's already knocked out the ruler of Izu, Yamaki
Kanataka.
Yamaki Kanataka, who was previously loyal to the Heike. So Lord Yoritomo has already won Izu.
See...
By the way, you're travelers, aren't you? Are you looking for a place to stay tonight?
We'll pass for tonight, but thank you for the information.
Are you looking for a place to stay?
Yeah, you wouldn't know of one, would you? It's freaking in. Of course, he's like trying to sell the shit.
My lord.
Brothers decided to rise up against the Heike, just as I thought he would. I knew you'd do it, brother. I knew you'd go after the Heike. My heart and yours are one and the same. Let us fight together. It's actually kind of cute when you're like, our hearts are one and the same! Aww. I mean, good thing you're not related because you're going to bone each other later. But you know what I mean? That's kind of sweet. A boiling passion came over me and I placed my palm against my chest.
This isn't some armed uprising or insurrection. This is the eldest son of the Genji clan, claiming his rightful place.
That's right. Not many soldiers and warlords will join Lord Yoritomo. However, we cannot expect the Heike to remain silent. Oh god, especially fucking Tomomori. Jesus. I'm fine with him talking as much as he wants, though, you know what I'm saying?
They'll want to strike back immediately. This could be the biggest war since the Heiji Rebellion. Shinao?
Right. Everyone, let's hurry ahead. I want to get to my brother's side as soon as possible.
Yes, sir!
We left the town in a hurry and proceeded forward. Through the mountains and fields, our horses galloped, driving single-mindedly toward Izu. From this point forward, I'd be throwing myself into war, into a world soaked with blood. I knew the road would be difficult, and it would have been a lie to say that I held no fear about what lay ahead. That fear paled in comparison to the passionate fire that burned in me to join my brother in battle. As Genji's second son, I want to support my older brother. It was that passion that drove me forward. Be there soon, brother. Please, wait for me. We're a little under time, but this is a good place to start. Wait, oh no, I was like, are we going to be in a new chapter? No. Ishibashi Mountain. We're going to start here in the next part, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.